Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome everyone to the regular City Council meeting, Monday, April 14th, 2025. If you would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. Okay. Our first item on the agenda is a joint public hearing with our Planning Commission. Mr. Amico, if you would please take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening. I'd like to open up this joint public hearing with the Planning Commission and City Council on the rezoning of 2320 Vineyard Road, tax map number 645000027 from RSF 40 in York County to R40 in the city as part of a 100% annexation petition. And with that, I'll turn over to Mr. Nick.
Good evening tonight. So Mr. Amico covered the basics of this. So the property owner at 2320 Vineyard Road is applying to rezone 2 acres that's currently located in the county from RSF 40 to R40 in the city as part of an annexation request. There is an existing home on the property that was built back in 2000, and this would allow access through the River Falls subdivision that the subject property is currently adjacent to.
Thank you, Nick. We did not have anybody sign up for public comments tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. If there's anybody who'd like to speak on this, come forward. Okay, hearing none. Fellow commissioners, you all have any questions? Council members? All right. With that, I close this evening's public hearing. Planning Commission, we're dismissed. Thanks.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So, going to bring us to our next item on the agenda, which I've been waiting for this for 18 years. Be right down there. Okay. Guys, welcome to Council Chambers, and appreciate you guys doing all your hard work and everything this year. I know that it was tough to make all the practices, and Coach, with all of the good stuff that he taught you guys, glad it finally sunk in. You guys did a great job. I enjoyed every minute of it, and I appreciate all the hard work that went into it for the coaches, all the dedication that you guys have. Just a great season, and really unbelievable what you did. So this is a proclamation recognizing the Fort Mill High School boys basketball team as the Regional 3 5A champions. Whereas the Fort Mill High School boys basketball team clinched the Region 3 5A title with a victory over Indian Land on February 11th, 2025. Whereas the Yellow Jackets entered the game with a 23-2 overall record and an 11-0 record in the region. With the win, they had a season sweep over the Warriors. Whereas the City of Tega and the City Council wish to commend Evan Jones, Nas Berry, Jameer Nelson, Kenyon Hall, Wallace Campbell, Eli Eckhart, Noah Johnson, Noah Mason, Max Ober, Ryan Ringer, Logan Parker, and Xander Gray for their exemplary accomplishments throughout the season. And whereas the City of Tega and the City Council wish to commend the coaching staff, Myron Lowry, Javon Berry, AJ Fody, Aaron Knight, Gary Belcher, Mike Fody, Jeremy Meacham, and A.J. Harrison for their leadership to their fellow Yellow Jackets in Fort Mill High School. Now therefore be it proclaimed, we, the City Council of Tega hereby congratulate and recognize the Fort Mill High School boys basketball team for their remarkable achievement in being named 2025 Region 3 5A champions. Boys, if y'all come on right up here. I have to get this thing way on out the way. We got these big boys over here. You get to talk now. Hold on, let me get you centered.
Hey, good evening. I didn't prepare anything for this, but I don't need to prepare for anything to just to explain to you how great these young men and this coaching staff, how they've been not only this year but throughout their high school career. You know, lots of times you hear of high school situations where there's all kinds of drama and things like that, but we just didn't have that. And, you know, the things that made us good was our team chemistry. That was the number one thing. And it was within our coaching staff, but mainly with the players. All credit goes to the players. They were the ones out there practicing. They were the ones out there playing. And it was just a joy. I've been doing this for 35 years, and I've never had a season. I've had a lot of great seasons, but nothing like this, because it was just so enjoyable to come to practice every day, to come to the games, before the games, after the games, and to hang out with the group. We traveled to Greenville overnight, and again, they were just so well behaved in everything that they did, and I'm just really proud of this group. So if you could give them a hand, I'd appreciate that.
You guys hang on one second. Not done yet. Okay. More good stuff for this team. We've got some folks that have been selected to be all-state. So I'd like to recognize those guys. So this is a proclamation recognizing Fort Mill High School basketball player Logan Parker as an all-state selection. Whereas Logan Parker has proven himself as the team's leading scorer with an impressive 14.4 points per game, while also contributing 4.4 rebounds per game and 3 assists per game, demonstrating his all-around excellence and versatility as a player. Taking on all 5 positions when needed and excelling in every aspect of the game, whereas Mr. Parker has shown exceptional leadership serving as captain of the team, earning Player of the Game honors 10 times, and demonstrating a remarkable commitment to both his individual performance and his team success, as evidenced by his 40% shooting from beyond the arc, 82% from the free throw line, and 12 charges taken. And whereas Logan has earned numerous accolades, including being named MVP of the Yellow Jacket Classic, All Tournament at the Poinsettia Classic Holiday Tournament, and receiving both all-region and all-state honors, further solidifying his place as one of the top players in the region and state. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the City of Tega and City Council of Tega do hereby congratulate and recognize Logan Parker for his tremendous accomplishments as an individual player and a member of the Fort Mill High School boys basketball team. Now, this was kind of special to me because I got the dubious honor of coaching Logan when he and Xander were that tall, and they came up through Y ball, and so to see him from where he was at that age to where he is now playing, it is an absolute just amazing thing that he's done. So Logan, I wanted to give this proclamation to you, son. I'm proud of you. And we got another one. Yeah, we do. We got another one. So this is a proclamation recognizing Fort Mill High School player Nas Berry as an all-state selection. Whereas Nas Berry has demonstrated exceptional skill and leadership on the court, averaging 13.8 points a game, 4.6 rebounds a game, and 2.8 assists per game, making him one of the team's best offensive players and one of the top point guards, showcasing his dedication and talent in every game. Whereas Mr. Berry earned a well-deserved place on the all-region team during his junior year and continued to excel by scoring a spot as one of the preseason's top 5 seniors, further cementing his reputation as a player of great promise and capability. And whereas Nas was named to the all-region team for his senior year, recognized as an all-state player, and earned the prestigious opportunity to participate in the North-South All-State game, highlighting his extraordinary skills and commitment to the game of basketball. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed, we, the City Council of the City of Tega, do hereby congratulate and recognize Nas Berry for his monumental accomplishments as an individual player and a member of the Fort Mill High School boys basketball team. Congratulations, man. Now, I got a little something. It's been a pleasure watching this one come up, too. Yeah, these boys have been playing, some of these guys have been playing all their lives together, but a lot of them were playing together in junior high school. So I got the pleasure, I've had the pleasure of seeing Nas play for a number of years, and he's just an outstanding young man and has done a great job. So I appreciate you for all your hard work, and thanks for making it fun for me to come watch the games. I appreciate it. Congratulations. All right. Okay. And that's all the ones I got. But guys, congratulations once again. Season well deserved, and I appreciate all the stuff that you guys done. Coaches, thank you for so much for what you do for our kids, and especially for that big one right there. I know he's hard to work with. So. All right. If y'all can hang out if you want to. If you want to have a seat, or y'all can take off and do anything. All right, go on practice. See y'all. Yeah, it looks like y'all got to go to practice.
Let's talk about the city.
Yeah, there you go, buddy. Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you coming.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, let's see you soon. Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. All right. Hey, did y'all notice I'm not sweating so bad? Okay. So, we got some more good stuff. This is a proclamation recognizing Samuel, now y'all gonna have to forgive me, Paukovitz? Is that right? Okay, all right, good. I did good on that one. Thanks for all the extra little squiggles. Now, as the 2025 South Carolina High School Scholastic Chess Champion, whereas Samuel Paukovitz, a self-taught chess player who began his journey just 3 years ago, has achieved an impressive rating increase from 703 in August 2022 to 1793, with an expected rise to 1860, reflecting his dedication and rapid progress in the game. Whereas Mr. Paukovitz placed 5th out of 67 players at the SC Scholastic Chess Championship on March 22nd, 2025, earning a spot in the SC National Qualifier, where he won all 3 of his matches on April 5th, 2025, including a victory over last year's SC High School champion. This accomplishment earned him a $5,000 scholarship and the title of the 2025 South Carolina High School Scholastic Chess Champion. And whereas Samuel will represent the state of South Carolina at the GM Arnold Dinker National Tournament of High School State Champions in Middleton, Wisconsin, and will also compete in the 125th Annual U.S. Open Chess Championship in Madison, Wisconsin, showcasing his exceptional talent and achievements on the national stage. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed, we, the City Council of the City of Tega, congratulate and formally recognize Samuel for his exceptional achievements as the 2025 South Carolina High School Scholastic Chess Champion. Come on up here, Samuel. All right. So you got to have that. All right. Congratulations. I can't wait for you to get the other championship so you can come on back and we can do that. All right? Okay. This is a special one for Tim Gillette, and I always love doing this every year. So this is a proclamation recognizing Spring Pick-Me-Up Week, Earth Day, and National Arbor Day 2025. Whereas April 21st through April 26th is Spring Pick-Me-Up Week in the city of Tega, whereas Earth Day is celebrated on April 22nd, and the 153rd anniversary of National Arbor Day on April 25th. Whereas the city would like to recognize the outstanding collaborative efforts of Keep America Beautiful, Palmetto Pride, Keep York County Beautiful, City of Tega staff and volunteers who work to maintain the aesthetics of our community. Whereas the city will offer reduced cost for curbside pickup of large items when scheduled through the city, and would like to encourage all to recycle, pick up litter in our parks and our open spaces, and volunteer to help keep Tega beautiful. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the mayor and council of the city of Tega duly assembled do hereby recognize April 21st through 26th, 2025 as Spring Pick-Me-Up Week, and encourage all to join in the efforts of the city staff and volunteers to support Spring Pick-Me-Up Week, also to celebrate Earth Day on April 22nd and National Arbor Day on April 25th. And Tim is not here tonight, so we'll get him that. We know where he is. All right. So we have another proclamation in support of NAMI, Piedmont Tri-County, proclaiming May as Mental Health Awareness Month. Whereas the City Council of Tega acknowledges the significant impact that mental health has on the overall well-being of individuals, families, children, and the broader community. Whereas access to resources, services, and support plays a crucial role in enhancing the lives of individuals with mental health challenges, empowering them to live, work, learn, and contribute to the community. Whereas NAMI, Piedmont Tri-County, a local nonprofit organization, is dedicated to fostering hope, support recovery, and improving the lives of individuals affected by mental health conditions. And whereas the City of Tega and the City Council are committed to strengthening our partnership with NAMI, Piedmont Tri-County, to promote awareness and support NAMI's mission to improve the quality of life and care for individuals with mental health conditions and for their families through education, support, and advocacy. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the mayor and council of the city of Tega duly assembled do hereby recognize May 25th, May 2025 as Mental Health Awareness Month in the city of Tega. And I will say, folks, if you know anyone that needs some help, please reach out on their behalf and help them to get the help that they need. NAMI, these folks, they do this day in and day out, and they're there for you at any point in time. If you have any questions about that, if you need any help, reach out to me, our city staff, council, anybody that you can. We want to be there to help you. Okay. We have another proclamation. This is a proclamation proclaiming that we're going to recognize May 4th as International Firefighters Day. So, Chief, if you guys want to come up. Whereas a firefighter's dedication, commitment, and sacrifice has no boundaries of country, uniform, or language. Whereas firefighters worldwide dedicate and risk their lives to protect the lives and property of those within the community. And whereas International Firefighters Day is a time where the world can recognize and honor the sacrifices that firefighters make to ensure their communities and environments are as safe as possible. Whereas the City Council of the City of Tega would like to express our gratitude to all of our firefighters, including those in the Tega Fire Department, for their dedication and service to both the city and as its residents. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Mayor and City Council of Tega duly assembled do hereby recognize May 4th as International Firefighters Day. And I would like to say a special thank you to all of you folks for everything that you do for us in the city, keeping us safe. I know the training that you guys do, and I know the hard work that you put into it, and I really appreciate it. So, thanks, guys. I'm going to get this thing out of the way right here real quick. All right. Squeeze in. There we go. Okay. I'm not going to leave you out, Chief. So come on up here, guys. You want to go ahead and save the best for last? Is that what you're going to say?
Fire department got happy. I said it's because it's May 4th and it comes before May 15th.
Thank you for denoting that calendar. Appreciate you. And this is a proclamation recognizing May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week as National Police Week. Whereas in 1962, President John F. Kennedy and the United States Congress established by a joint resolution that May 15th is designated as Peace Officers Memorial Day. Whereas the same resolution established the week which May 15th falls on as National Police Week, to pay special recognition to those law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty and for the safety and protection of others. Whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, and sacrifices which our law enforcement officers make. And whereas City Council and the City of Tega desire to recognize the Tega Police Department as each member plays an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens of our community. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Mayor and Council of the City of Tega duly assembled do hereby recognize May 15th, 2025 as Peace Officers Memorial Day and honor those law enforcement officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice or become disabled in service, while also recognizing those currently serving. This day falls during the National Police Week, and just want to say a special thank you, Chief, folks, for all that you do for us. I wish everybody was here so I could shake the hand, hug the neck, but I appreciate everything that you guys do for us and keeping us safe, and just can't say enough thank you for the safety and that you provide for the city. I got you squared up. Tim taught me good.
Good job.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
All right, good evening. Pleasure to be here as always. Just want to go over briefly where we are with the wastewater treatment plant upgrades. On this slide and on your papers, you can see, and I'll just average those costs just for the sake of saving some time. On the base price, you see about just under $3.5 million. We have a fee for Council of Governments at $35,000, a remaining balance of $185,000 for Alliance Engineering, $476,000 for the equalization basin, which I'll get into shortly, and $13,825 for soil testing and topo survey, for a total of just under $4.2 million. So what does that base price include? You got the rehab of wastewater treatment plant number 2, which is the main plant that's going to be getting rehab. That's the multi-purpose treatment tank, complete rehab of every component inside that tank. Install flow meters at wastewater treatment plant 2 and 3. Removal and replacement of 4 blowers, 2 at plant 2 and 2 at plant 3. Air piping modifications at both plants. Electrical modifications again at both plants, with the majority of that being at wastewater treatment plant number 2. Again, that's where most of the overhaul is going to happen. For those of you who are familiar with this equalization basin, we had this once before. We're bringing it back. It is a temporary basin, and it's mostly for stormwater or as storms roll in. Our plants will not be able to handle all the flows that come in on a stormy day. So we're bringing in this 700,000 gallon frac tank as a temporary option to make sure that we keep, again, all the wastewater contained and not on the ground or in the lake. This particular tank at one point was about $750,000 is what the installation cost was going to be. That's for grading, that's for installation of the tank, dismantling of the tank. Because of the topo survey and because of BLE coming in and doing the topo as well as the soil testing, we were able to reduce that cost. So we paid $13,000 to have that done. However, we reduced that cost to about $476,000 is what we were able to reduce that cost. Basically, what that says was instead of doing soil nailing on the backside of that basin, we were able to do a 1-to-1 ratio with some matting and grassing. And once that tank comes down, we'll be able to utilize that area for some other things. As far as right now, the Spencer Group is going over the contract between us and Harper. Once they get through that, we'll continue on with our negotiation process. But the numbers that I mentioned as far as that $3.5 million is a pretty solid number right now of where we're going to be moving forward. However, you guys will all get copies of the contract and everything that's involved in it. If you have any questions at a later date, or if you have any questions now, I'd be happy to answer. Because we have not finished our negotiations and we have not gotten our GMP yet, the project is getting pushed back a little bit further. So currently we're looking at about a late September, maybe early October for the mobilization process. Any questions?
I'm not sure if I missed it, but where is the $700,000 or 700,000 gallon tank going to be placed?
So again, I'm not sure if you saw it before, but so as you're looking inside the plant, there's a corner where we kind of began to backfill as we removed it one other time. It's going in that same identical section.
Okay, so it's within that facility, within that area.
Within
Okay.
that fenced-in area, correct.
And then do we have money in the budget to pay for all this stuff?
We do,
Okay, perfect.
we do. And then, not budget, but from the ARPA funds.
Yeah, all this is being funded through grant and through the ARPA funds that were allocated.
So with a 700,000 gallon tank, how are we getting that in here?
It comes in pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets trailered in and put together on site.
A 700,000 gallon tank, that'd be,
It's a big
that would
tank.
be, are we bringing it on a barge and getting some Chinooks, or,
Nah.
I mean, what are we doing? I mean, that's,
It's a big
the
tank.
streets are a little bit tiny here in TUK. I don't know that you'd be able to get that big of a truck in here. I mean, speaking from a guy who drives big trucks. Yeah. Okay, all right, that was just,
Any other questions?
all right. Thank you, Antonio.
You're welcome.
And that will bring us to our city manager's report. If you would, please, Mr. Funderburk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Let's see, from our fire department, they and our police department held their quarterly public safety meeting on April 9th. Appreciate the folks that who participated in those discussions. The fire department is participating in Career Day at TGK Elementary in a few weeks, and they participated in a Career Day a few weeks ago. Had the opportunity to see every child at the school. They and several of our departments got to show off the big trucks and equipment and things like that, and the kids really did enjoy it. This Wednesday, the 16th, the department will be at Gold Hill Middle School for their Career Day. And they have finished up flow testing the hydrants, and they're busy with plan reviews and follow-up inspections with our commercial stuff. Development Services, the Planning Commission will be considering the last plat of River Falls at their May meeting. Open house for the comprehensive plan was on April 7th, and it was a success with a really good turnout. Looking to hold their first meeting, their first steering committee meeting in late April or early May, depending on member availability. And then we were told today that the resubmittals on the Main Street preliminary plats, we are expecting those no later than Wednesday of this week. They had to do some tweaking based on utilities and whatnot. So we're looking forward to getting those plats in, and hopefully if they're good to go, Nick will be taking that to Planning Commission at their May meeting as well, which will allow them to get started moving dirt probably sometime in late May, early June on that project. Police Department, some great stats here from Chief Crosby, and he shared pretty much all of these, I believe, at the quarterly public safety meeting. In quarter one, they've seen a significant increase in several key areas. Parking enforcement is up 311% year to date, with 37 citations issued, 23 of which were at Windjammer Park. Traffic stops have also risen by 36%, with nearly 500 more stops compared to last year. Citations are up 50% and warnings have increased by 41%. Notably, accidents have decreased by 24%, so good stuff there. Our folks are definitely busy out on the roads. Property checks are up 29% with over 1,100 additional checks completed. Calls for service from the public have surged by 32%, an increase of 306 calls, while detective assigned cases have risen by 52%. Additionally, our team participated in 8 community events this quarter, reinforcing their commitment to building strong relationships within the community and our community members. Their response time has also improved with average of just under or right at 3 minutes and 45 seconds, with their target being 4 minutes response on calls. So great job there. Despite this surge in activity and public interaction, we've only received 2 complaints in Q1, both of which were unfounded and led to officer exoneration from our IAU folks. And that just demonstrates the professionalism and conduct of our team. And finally, you've probably seen the license plate reader cameras, the flock safety cameras, various parts around the city. They've captured a staggering number of license plates. So it reads every single license plate that comes by it. In January, it read 920,426 license plates. In February, 1,137,256. 1,031,021 in February, and 1,137,256 in March. It just shows that there's a lot of people coming in and out of the city throughout the day each month. So kudos to our law enforcement folks on the great job that they continue to do for us. Parks and Recreation, our maintenance staff's been very busy completing some projects over the past month. Pitcairn Park received a massive facelift with the dock being repainted, the pavilion and pavilion flooring being repainted, installed gutters on that pavilion. We've also installed irrigation at the park, and we'll be installing sod later this month, early next month, to give Pitcairn a much-needed facelift. Staff also stabilized the shoreline at the Beach and Swim Center, along with installing sod along that walkway. Resident recreation participants may have also noticed the upgraded bathrooms at Rundy and Turner. So that crew has definitely been extremely busy. And we're happy to announce that the long-awaited pickleball court renovation is scheduled to begin this Thursday. We sent out a note that so we'll be closing down those 2 tennis courts as they start installing the fencing, and then right after the fencing, they'll create the new pickleball courts before they move over to the existing courts and resurface those to finish out the project. Weather permitting, renovations should be completed by the end of the month. The existing pickleball is scheduled to begin in May. So doing that as a phased approach, but looking forward to getting that started. I'd like to give a shout out to the Lake Ridge Trail Club, them with other volunteers, for their efforts this past weekend cleaning up debris from Hurricane Helene that was still scattered along the banks of the Catawba River. I'll say east and south of Catawba Park. Lots of boats and docks and things like that came over and through the dam during that storm last fall. So we definitely appreciate their efforts over this weekend. It was a massive undertaking. I really appreciate that. The Beach and Swim Center pool will officially open on May 3rd, so don't forget to register. You can do that online or in our Parks and Recreation office, which is next door to City Hall. We've also opened summer camp registration on our Parks and Rec website, so just visit us there. Finally, last but certainly not least, our events manager, Caroline Hasty. I'd like to formally invite City Council and everyone else in the city to soak up the music and eat their hearts out at the Best Damn Food Festival. The event will take place on Saturday, May 10th at Catawba Park from 2 p.m. till 10 p.m. So she's got a great lineup. I think I was told today over 30 some odd food trucks, 50 arts and crafts vendors. It's going to be a really good time, so looking forward to that. Public Works, the sign replacement project that they undertook this fiscal year has been completed. Really appreciate that team and their hard work in getting that done. And we've put the sidewalk replacement project out for bid, with the bid open occurring April 29th. And we anticipate bringing this to council at your May 19th meeting. So we'll be fixing up sidewalks in various parts of the city. And then with our utilities, they were able to complete the upgrades to the lift station over in Seven Coves. So our folks have definitely been busy over the past month and taking advantage of the good weather. So, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Funderburk. That's a lot of stuff.
Yes, sir.
Been busy. Okay. Okay, that will bring us to our committee commission reports. You got nothing? You got the planning commission? Yep. Nick, you want to do it? Sure. Okay. Since you're already here, since you're still here, you might as well tell us what you're doing.
Hey, my report's not nearly as interesting as Mr. Funderburk's over there, but we did have our most recent meeting here last Monday. We had a quorum with full attendance where we elected officers. My fellow commissioners were very kind enough to give me another shot at trying to get this chair thing right. Fortunately, they wisely selected Alice Dobleski as our vice chair to help ensure that happens. We did have a discussion of the zoning that was the topic of this evening's public hearing. And as Mr. Funderburk noted, our next meeting is next Monday, May 5th, where we'll be reviewing the last plat for River Falls and whatever else gets added to the agenda at that point. And as always, y'all are welcome to join us there. So, pending your questions. All right, thanks.
I'm gonna turn my microphone off. Right. Okay, we did have an RFATS meeting last week. So we've been updating the long range transportation plan for 2025 or for 2055. Sorry, and authorized a 30-day public comment session for anything pertaining to our long-range transportation plan. We updated our MOU for our transit performance targets. That's between Rock Hill and RFATS. We approved the 2025 to 2027 Unified Planning Work Program. We updated the collector street plan and the implementation of the 2055 LRTP, which that's the long-range transportation plan. We had a final approval for a reincorporation of the Cell River widening project as we're bringing that to a close. And we had an approval of the Rowell's bridge project. They're refurbishing the bridge and widening that bridge out at Rowell's Creek. And we approved moving our April meeting to May 16th, as folks are going to be out and about in April with spring break. So it was a great meeting, got a lot accomplished in a short period of time, and we were able to make sure that we're doing the correct thing for our area as far as transportation goes between Rock Hill, Fort Mill, and Tega K. Just everybody in attendance had some great points that they made, and we had a good meeting, and I think myself looking at it that we've got a really good hold on what we're going to have to do to get to where 2055 rolls around and we're still current with all of our roads. So we're looking forward to the next meeting. We're going to be talking about the Celanese project, I-77 Celanese project. That's going to be the next big one that we're coming down the road to get. So the 160 project is moving right along. We're right on schedule. And they're planning to start setting girders and all that kind of good stuff. Setting some last week, and they'll be setting them all month long. So if you're going to be going anywhere at night, I would probably avoid the area at 160 and I-77, as they're going to be swinging a lot of girders, and there's going to be substantial lane closures. So I would avoid that area if at all possible. And that's all I had from RFATS. Okay. Which will bring us to public comments. And as usual, if you would please state your name and your address. Heather Jones.
Good evening, Heather Jones, 2109 Bonneville Way. You guys have graciously given me time in the past to speak on behalf of the TKK Elementary PTO, and I just wanted to bring some updates and some thanks from the group. The first was, Council in particular, you've been very supportive of our first golf tournament. Due to some circumstances, our original date ended up not working, and so we have a new date, May 5th at 9 a.m., so Cinco de Mayo, come party at the TKK Golf Course. Great way to start your May 5th. We have spots still available. We do strongly encourage anyone who's considering signing up to sign up this week. We would appreciate that so we can get our numbers finalized with Ty over at the golf club for that. And then, as our city manager mentioned, we had our career day at the elementary school, and the counselors asked if I could also bring some thanks because we had both city staff, fire department, and the police department there with all the vehicles and participating, and it was amazing. This is the first time the school's done it, and the kids had a blast. Surprisingly, the favorite vehicle was the little golf cart truck. Like this tall, like they had the fire truck, they had the new vacuum truck that can like go in. No, it was this one. It was the one that was like this big, and that was the one the kids were mobbing. So beat everybody out. So please let Chip and the others know that was hands down like the fan favorite that was there. And then also, we wanted to extend some thanks to our police department and our fire department. They both donated rides to school, 2 rides to school apiece for our auction that we just held to fundraise for one of our spring fundraisers. And we brought in $3,800 total in the auction. The fire department brought in $330 for their 2 rides to school. Police department brought in $200 for their rides to school. It's hard to beat the big trucks, and the kids, like, that's the thing. But the police department also donated several safety patrols with our SRO and storybook times with our SRO, which brought them up to 344. So split even, but both departments contributed 9% of our auction, which we really appreciate. And Just thank you again for this community collaboration with the elementary school, and the PTO really appreciates everybody who has been helping us out this year in building those relationships. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Maureen Norcutt.
Hi, Maureen Norcutt, 334 South Revere Cove. I want to tell you all a quick story about my brother. When he was 17, he was under the influence of a dare from friends and also under the influence of the hubris of youth. And he walked into a gas station in our town and he grabbed a bunch of product and walked out with it. He was stopped by a citizen and he was held there until the police came. He ended up serving 172, I think, community service hours for what he did, which is what he deserved. My question tonight is, do you think that was enough? Or do you think he should have been taken care of like Kyle Rittenhouse, like you put in your comments on Facebook? We're here again. I'm here for the first time speaking, outraged at your blatantly violent online rhetoric. We are here yet again after you have publicly undermined our first responders in this community for nothing more than your own ego. Tell me, what do you think would have been a successful outcome of that night at that 7-Eleven when the police officers were there? Would it have been for them to violently engage with those teenagers and taken the lives of teenagers? Have you given any thought to what that would do, not only to the families of those teenagers, but those officers? I have a friend who was a 20-plus year Chicago PD officer who volunteered his number to me to give to you so he can talk to you in detail about what it did to him when he had to make a call like that and enact it in the line of duty. It is known there are plenty of angry, impotent, dissatisfied old men online, but it is an absolute disgrace that a ringleader for this behavior sits on this council. Your continued presence on this council sullies the reputation of every person sitting up there with you. I know a couple of them. They're good people. They understood the responsibility, the sacrifice, and the self-imposed accountability that is required for civic service, no matter the size of the town or city. You should be censured this evening, for sure, for the violence that you continue to propagate online. It's time for you to be the big man you love to pretend you are online and step down. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Norcutt. Judy Wong Roars. Did I say that right?
Well, it's actually Judy Roars, but I recently got divorced, so most people know me by Wong, so I threw it both in.
Okay.
So my name is Judy Roars. I live at 2025 Emerald Pines Drive, and I'm here to speak about the agenda item of the censuring of councilperson Mr. Scott Shirley. At the start of the term, all the council members take the oath in order to be sworn into elected office. I pulled this oath off of the MACS, the Municipal Association of South Carolina website, and that oath states, as council member of the municipality, I will equally, fairly, and impartially, to the best of my ability and skill, exercise the trust reposed in me, and I will use my best endeavors to persevere the peace and carry into effect, according to the law, the purposes for which I have been elected. So help me God. After hearing this oath, I ask the council and Mr. Shirley if he is indeed upholding the order that he was sworn into in this elected office. Hate has absolutely no place in Tega. Divisiveness has no place in Tega. Bullying behavior has no place in Tega. Our city officials are elected to represent us and should hold the small town values many of us residents hold very near and dear. Do the values Mr. Shirley is spewing online represent the values of our cities and its residents? I've lived here 20 years and I've never seen such vicious hate. I hope as a council, you will truly represent what we elected as the constituents by censuring Councilmember Shirley. This is the very least that he deserves. Further, I hope your council will consider creating further consequences for council members participating in unbecoming behavior and not upholding the oath that they swore to uphold. Unfortunately, this council has kind of got its hands tied. Censure is the greatest penalty the council can impose. In fact, my child would have gotten into bigger trouble than this grown adult acting like a 5-year-old. Removal of the council, unfortunately, is not an option. But remember, my fellow citizens, the council election is in November. Please, please remember that when you vote.
Thank you, Ms. Rorge. Ashley Hill.
Hi there. Ashley Hill, 12106 Baywoods Drive. Good evening, Mayor, council members, and fellow residents. I'm here tonight to voice my strong support for the resolution to censor Councilmember Scott Shirley for his repeated, inappropriate behavior on social media. Most recently, Mr. Shirley posted the following on a Tega bulletin board Facebook page in response to an incident at a Fort Mill 7-Eleven. Quote, "Looks like a job for Kyle Rittenhouse." For those unfamiliar, Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 people and killed 2. Invoking his name in response to a petty crime is inflammatory and dangerous, and grossly inappropriate for an elected official. This kind of language does not reflect the values of TK or the standards of leadership we expect. More importantly, this post is in direct violation of the city's communications and social media policy, which clearly states that council members must include a disclaimer when sharing personal opinions online. Mr. Shirley did not do so on this occasion or multiple others. So I asked Councilmember Shirley 2 things. 1, do you believe someone who steals a soda deserves to be shot? And 2, why did you again ignore city policy on March 31st at 9:35 p.m. when you made the posting? To the mayor and fellow council members, I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking this seriously, for leading with integrity, and for bringing forward this resolution. Holding a colleague accountable is never easy, but it is necessary in this case. This censure is a step in the right direction, not just to address this incident, but to protect the trust and unity of our community. I urge all residents to support this action and to call for an adoption of a formal code of conduct moving forward. Mr. Mayor, what is the next step if Mr. Shirley continues to violate city policy? Let's hold our leaders to the standards of our community that our community deserves. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hill. Gus Machunas.
Gus Machunas, 376 Calming Way here in TK. Let me lighten the mood a little. As you all know, I've been up here quite a bit here lately talking about the sediment filling in the cove across from the beach club at the end of Nibbins Creek. I just came up here to say, thank you. I know after my initial, I reached out to the city, and a couple people on city staff have answered some questions for me, and I appreciate that. Did some research. I walked. Mayor, you reached out to me. We walked the creek and looked at some things. Councilman Carter made sure that someone had reached out to me, and the Mayor Pro Tem reached out to me to make sure that somebody had addressed me. And Mayor Gray, I just want to say I appreciate you reaching out to not only various departments with the state, but also with some state representatives to look into the matter, and some wheels are turning, and I just want to say thank you for looking into it and taking what I consider to be a very serious issue. I mean, the lake is our most precious asset, in my opinion, here. And, you know, that issue has been going on for a long time, and it looks like it's getting some attention. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Tunis. Can't break, that's an old habit, I can't break it. Nope. Okay, Josie Duda.
Hello, sorry. Hi, I'm Josie Dudot, and I live at 10081 Palmyra Drive. On behalf of the TUK Lions Club, I'm letting you know that nominations for TUK Citizens of the Year are open. Nominations are open for TUK Citizen of the Year. TUK residents are invited to nominate another TUK resident whose behavior deserves recognition. The winner will be recognized at the Lions' annual 4th of July Fish Fry at the Glennon Center. Email your nominations to tega.k.lions@gmail.com by May 4th. More information is on the TUK Lions Club. Thank you.
Good job, Josie. Liz Duda.
Good evening, Elizabeth Duda, 1081 Palmyra Drive. I ran for an open city council seat 4 years ago against this trio of men who ran together in a partisan manner for these nonpartisan positions. When I lost, I thought, well, hopefully they do some good. One of my goals in running for city council was to help bring the community together. Instead, I've had to watch Councilmember Shirley do the opposite. He has alienated our schools, which are top in our state and which many people move to our community for, by threatening them with a lawsuit. He lied to York County Council at a public meeting by saying that he was speaking there on behalf of TKK City Council, when he was not. He has gone online multiple times to post hateful, mocking posts to social media. For example, he chastised an elderly resident for not cleaning out city storm drains near her home. Most recently online, he disparaged law enforcement and suggested that citizens take the law into their own hands. Councilmember Shirley is alienating a good number of our population, not bringing people together as a community. He continues to behave in a manner opposite of a leader. Council created a social media policy to respond to Councilmember Shirley's past transgressions. I'm encouraged that I see on your agenda tonight the possibility of censuring Councilmember Shirley. Tonight we will get to hear your thinking. This is your chance to decide if you will continue to stick with your partisan partnership or do what is right for our community. After tonight, I also encourage Council to create a code of conduct or ethics to set clear expectations going forward. I'd like to commend anyone who tries to serve in this role of City Council member. However, Councilmember Shirley continues to embarrass our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. And that concludes our public comment section. So we will cover our approval of minutes. And for that, I would like to entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as they've been presented.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Okay. So we've got a little unfinished business tonight. Second reading of an ordinance 600 as an ordinance to amend Chapter 38 of the city's codes as it relates to the docking and or beaching of motorized watercraft and boats at city parks. This is the second and final reading of an ordinance to regulate the overnight docking of boats at public docks and clarify the provisions regarding the commercial use of public docks. The revision would also eliminate redundant language which is addressed in state law and other city ordinances. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, I'd like to take a motion to approve the second reading of an ordinance to amend Chapter 38 of the city's code as it relates to the docking and/or beaching of motorized watercrafts and boats at city parks.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion?
I just had one thing. Charlie, I'm assuming if this passes, there'll be a push out to the residents in the
Yes,
wider
sir.
area to make sure people know.
We'll definitely do an education piece.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
And signage updates as well.
Yes, ma'am, we'll do signage. I'm pretty sure we already have signage at Windjammer and Pitcairn, but we'll go back through those and make sure that they're covering everything that we need them to cover. 100%.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, this is a discussion and consideration of a vacancy on the steering committee for the comprehensive plan. We have had a person vacate that seat. Unfortunately, as a result, this item is for council to consider either appointing a previous applicant to fulfill the vacancy or proceed with a total of 8 members.
As members of the steering committee, do you two believe there's any disadvantage of sticking with 8?
I think we could stick with 8. I don't know that there's a particular reason to.
I think the thought was to do an odd number, but Charlie, is there ever a time that that's going to be necessary for votes?
Yeah.
Okay.
You okay with that?
I'm fine with 8.
Okay.
Well, with that, then, Mr. Mayor, members of council, motion to amend the number of steering committee members from 9 to 8.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion on that? All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Okay. Some new business on the agenda here. Consideration of adopting the Park and Recreation Master Plan. I would like to say, first, thank you to everyone that took part in this. This was a lot of hard work, and a lot of walking and a lot of looking and a lot of review. And I really appreciate everyone that took their time out of their schedules to help us with our Parks and Recreation Master Plan. Dustin, thank you, and your staff as well. I know it was a tremendous amount of time and effort that went into this because it is a very, very good-looking master plan, and we appreciate that. So, the Park and Recreation Ad Hoc Committee, alongside city staff, have completed the new master plan. This item is for council to consider adopting the plan so it can be implemented. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, motion to adopt the Parks and Recreation Master Plan.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion?
There was a lot of work that went into this, and thank you so much for doing that, because that is, it is a lot. Appreciate you.
It's like an encyclopedia.
Mhm.
Lots
It-
of graphs and pictures. It's really, really nice. And I know that it sets out a kind of a really good picture of what the future looks like for our parks. And I'm really impressed. Thank you for putting that together.
211 pages.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Actually, I texted Tom. I said, did you see how many pages are on there?
211 pages. That's something
Yeah.
else.
Very well done.
Really, thank you very much for doing that for us, and we appreciate it. If you'd like to come up and say a few words, by all means, sir. Just don't tell us that you're resigning. No. I've got duct tape in the truck, and I'm not afraid to use it.
I'll be quick. I just wanted to say thank you, council, for tasking us with this. It was a lot of work. So I do want to say thank you to a couple people before hopefully y'all adopt this. I would like to say thank you to the Parks and Recreation Committee, Jim Arani, Austin Keller, Nancy Nicholson, Christy Scott, Trish Snyder, Kristen Tigner, and Amanda Weber. Multiple meetings. They went out, looked at a lot of parks. We definitely couldn't have done it without them. TK staff, my Parks and Recreation staff, they had a lot of input in this as well. We couldn't do it without them. That includes Caroline Hasty, our events manager, Nick Coffin, a lot of those nice graphs that you saw when it came to the demographics of TKK. Nick was able to get those and put those together. And last but not least, I can't say thank you enough to Fit Fields, Dan Dodd, a TK resident, and his assistant, Anna Simpson, actually was the one that put a lot of this together. We could not have done it without them. So just thank you all for your support. Hopefully this is the expectation that you were looking for, because I think it turned out pretty well. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Dustin. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. And ooh, I've been waiting on this one for 3 years. So this is a consideration of approving the updated PDD for the phasing plan and the development known as Main Street. So at our February meeting, a public hearing was held. We discussed the proposed amendments to the PDD and requested by the developer, as they were requested by the developer. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the amendments, and at the March council meeting, this item is now before council for consideration and approval of those amendments. Do I have a motion?
Trying. Mr. Mayor, members of council, I'd like to make a motion to approve the updated PDD for the phasing plan for the Main Street development.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Do we have further discussion?
I'd just like to thank the developers. I know we had a bunch of questions, and they took our questions and concerns into account and came back with this plan you can see here that allows for a majority of the commercial to be in phase 1 and 2, which is, what we're really hoping for here in the city
right.
with this, the commercial tax base. And so that reassured some of our concerns, and I just thank them for their time and effort to do that for us.
And I think, Charlie, you had said that between phase 2 and phase 3, there should almost be almost like an overlap in finishing those.
Yes, ma'am. That's what the developers indicated to us, that basically once they get going on the vertical improvements for phase 2, they plan on coming right in with that final plat for phase 3 to start bringing that in. So they'll almost be going almost simultaneously in that second and third phase. So, and you've probably got 95% of your commercial is being captured in your first 2 phases out of the entire plan. So they definitely listened to council's concerns and took them to heart, as Mr. Hyslip said, for sure.
Yeah, I like that much better with the commercial up front.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I'd like to thank Nick. Thank you for all your hard work on this. Both you Nicks. Appreciate that. I mean, Nick squared. And our city staff done a great job with it, and appreciate everything that you guys have done for it. This is just going to it's going to cement TK forever. This is going to help us to ensure that our millage rates stay low. And we pray that we never have to raise them. This is going to give us a place that we all can look at and we all can say, "Yep, that's TK." So it's going to give us a face. And this was the work of previous councils. I want to thank you, Councilman Machunas, for the hard work you did on this, and Councilman Richard. Charlie, thank you very much for your hard work on this. This all came together and just absolutely wonderful. And I'd like to say thanks to Paul and Dinesh. They've done a tremendous job, and all of the folks at King of Realty. Just want to thank them for everything that they've done. I believe this will be a place to where we all can gather, we all can fellowship, and we all can have a great time in the middle of our town. So I just can't wait to do that, and hopefully this is another piece that helps to bring the city together. So.
And did you say they were going to start moving dirt probably May, June?
Probably late May, early June
Okay.
is kind of the calendar timeframe we're looking at right now with them. Again, a lot of that's going to depend on the next submission that we're going to get this week on the preliminary plat, but we're pretty close. I think we've already gotten the necessary DHEC approvals to where they can start. We can start issuing at least some land disturbance permits here very soon.
So the big question is when we have the groundbreaking.
I haven't scheduled that yet, but we'll once we get nail down a few dates, we'll obviously get with council on which dates work best.
Great. I'll bring my own, don't you worry. All right. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, this is a consideration of authorizing the installation of rectangular rapid flashing beacons on Tega Drive at 7 Coves and Calloway Pines. The SCDOT has noted the positive benefits of rectangular rapid flashing beacons at uncontrolled intersections. As a result, they have agreed to allow the installation of RRFBs on Tega Drive at 7 Coves, Trail Ridge, and Calloway Pines. This item is being considered to authorize that the RFBs be paid for out of the operational contingency funds and authorize their installation. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the purchase of the RRFBs in the amount not to exceed $30,000 from the operational contingency funds.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do we have any further discussion?
Taking the funds from the operational contingency funds is fine. Is there a way to see if we can get SCDOT to either pay for or offset the cost, or RFATS to pay for or offset the cost?
We could definitely have those conversations. It's my understanding that DOT is bending a little to allow us to go ahead and install these. We've been told that by the end of the calendar year that they'll probably be in the MUTCD manual, which helps others in the future, or even us in the future if we desire to install these other places, that it becomes a standard mechanism. But whether or not DOT will help fund any of these, I'm not sure at this point in time. But they are looking at replacing the ones at Heron Harbor, the in-pavement mounted ones, to RFBs, so it's consistent throughout.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question, Charlie. Is there a possibility to fund this in the budget for next fiscal year instead of removing it from contingency funds?
If that's what council wants to do. Yeah, I mean, we can either put it in the budget for next fiscal year and wait until fall, winter time when the budget starts
What would the installation schedule look like if we use the contingency funds versus put it in the budget?
Say that again?
What would the installation schedule look like if we use contingency funds versus?
So if council approves it tonight, we would this week be submitting for the necessary encroachment permits with DOT. My guess would be, and it's going to depend on stock, and what's available and that kind of thing. You're probably looking at June timeframe, maybe late June.
So it would be Q4 if we put it in the budget.
To get them installed versus installing them probably November, December timeframe.
I think the idea was to be able to get these in, number one, before DOT changes their mind.
And if we do it now, we can be ready for the next school year.
Summer and the next school year,
Right.
yeah. And the thing is this has been a battle
Yeah.
for 3 years.
I don't disagree. I'm just looking at
Yeah.
options. I'm probably leaning in your direction right now.
I got you. But I would say that we had to have someone retire for this to happen. So
From DOT.
from
not
DOT,
here.
not from here. But it is coming. As far as MUTCD goes, they have it released every couple of years. They'll update the MUTCD, and so the rectangular rapid flashing beacons are going to be put into place into that. And it's cities like Tega and smaller cities that have been pressing DOTs around the country to install these because they weren't a big fan at first. But now they understand that 87% functionality rate on these things, they work to help people from losing their lives, being hit by cars, or being mangled by getting hit by a car. So these things work well throughout the region and the nation. So they're a very good source for us. And the thing that differentiates them versus the in-ground, in-pavement is we're not going into the pavement to damage the pavement by putting lights in. That in-ground pedestrian signal that we have at Heron Run, it's a nightmare to maintain it. DOT is there every couple of days replacing LEDs, can lights. You can't see it during the day. whereas the rapid flashing beacons like we have at Windjammer, you can see those puppies. They're bright. So we actually have to turn the settings down on most of ours that we install from a daylight setting to a nighttime setting because it'll actually blind you. So, but yeah, I appreciate the consideration here, council. I've been fighting hard for this one, and I really appreciate the efforts and everything, and the support.
And I just wanted to thank the mayor. I know 3 years ago we started this battle, and you led the charge and stuck with it, and we were able to get the first 2 we funded ourselves.
Yeah.
And now it looks like they're finally coming around and seeing the brighter way.
Seeing the light.
Seeing the light. There you go.
All right.
The flashing lights.
So I would ask the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, folks. I appreciate that. I really do. And our children do, and our walking folks do, and everybody else. So thanks. Okay. Consider a resolution. Charlie, we got a little something that's not matching up with what I've got. Okay, got you. Okay. So this is a consideration of Resolution 2025-01, resolution censuring Councilmember Scott Shirley. Whereas Scott Shirley, by making disruptive, offensive, and inflammatory posts on social media, including posts that could insinuate support of acts of violence or vigilantism if disruptive persons came into the city limits. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and city council of the city of Tega, South Carolina, as the governing and legislative body thereof, that Scott Shirley has failed to uphold proper conduct as a city council member and is hereby possibly censured. So I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor and members of council, I'd like to make a motion to approve the solution or the resolution censuring Councilmember Scott Shirley.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion?
I was going to say, Mr. Shirley should be able to speak, and I think you're going to do that. I want to make sure you had
Thank you, Chaplain.
the opportunity.
Yeah, sure, I'd like to make a statement on that, and a statement of clarification more than anything. I respect my fellow council members and their opinions of my statement, and I respect the voices that spoke tonight and those that have spoken to me privately. We're a free people, and we're free to agree, disagree, or be indifferent. Regarding the statements, in the statement in the document, the insinuation of support for acts of violence or vigilantism if disruptive persons came into the city limits, I'd like to address that. That statement to me is completely out of context with the statement that I made. My comment on social media was referring to a young man who did not incite violence. On the contrary, he was protecting property and business from rioters, arsonists, looters, murderers, and pedophiles. And those are the facts of the case, and they're undisputed. Kyle Rittenhouse was attacked by criminals, white criminals, mind you. He defended himself by shooting 3 and killing 2. He defended his life. One of them tried to take his firearm, one tried to shoot him with his own pistol, and the other tried to bash in his head with a skateboard. He was found innocent of all wrongdoing by the courts. He further received a large unnamed sum of money from several sources in defamation lawsuits. I was advocating for property owners to defend their rights to their livelihoods, their property, and their life. Yeah, I could have said it differently and probably should have. But in no way was I advocating violence. I was not advocating violence or vigilantism or disruptive persons entering our city. On the contrary, I was advocating that we all take a stand against violence by exercising our God-given rights protected by the Constitution, including, but not limited to, free speech and bearing arms. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Shirley. Do we have any further discussion?
So we did this resolution due to the comments that Councilman Shirley made, and appreciate your comments that you made this evening. Councilman Shirley and I did have a conversation, tough conversation, where I voiced my concerns about his comments and my feelings about them, and we see things a little bit differently in regards to how Kyle Rittenhouse situation went down, and I explained that, but our conversation was a little bit private, so I'm not going to go into details about that whole deal. I understand that freedom of speech, everyone has that, and it's protected by the First Amendment, but it does not provide you immunity from the repercussions of saying such comments like that. That's what I think. So we are elected officials, and we're representing the beautiful city of Tega. We should hold ourselves to a higher standard that our residents expect and they absolutely deserve. That's what I want to say.
Does anyone else have any further discussion?
No, I think that my comments are in the lines of what Councilman Carter said, that we do have a responsibility to a higher standard. We do have a responsibility to make sure that while you understood what you were saying and where it might have been coming from, there are many who didn't. And there are many who did find it offensive. And there's a possibility that someone might have found it to be a directive. And that's where your words have to matter. You're not a person, you are an elected official, and you speak for the city, you speak for all of us at council. And as much respect as I have for anyone that raises their hand to sit as an elected official, that voice has to have pride, and it has to have respect, not just for what you want to say, but what other people might hear of you saying.
Before we vote, I just wanted to, make a quick statement, make it clear, every member of this council, like all citizens, has the right to freedom of speech. That right is protected and respected. However, when public comments made on social media can reflect poorly on the integrity of this body and the reputation of our city, we have a responsibility to act. As elected officials, I know Scott and I talked about this, our words carry weight, not only as individuals, but as representatives of our community. And unfortunately, this council must make it clear to the public that we do not condone or support the statements in question. And thank you for clarifying them, Scott. I appreciate that. Well, we cannot silence anyone. We can and must respond when those statements harm public trust. And so censure is the only formal tool available to us as a council to publicly express our disapproval and to reaffirm our shared commitment to respectful and responsible leadership. And this is not a decision taken lightly, but it is a necessary one. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Hyslip. I would like to just say a few words about this, and then I'm gonna get off my soapbox. We as council have a duty to our city to uphold ourselves in a proper decorum at all times. I'm the biggest sinner in the room. Sometimes fall short, and I might miss the mark. And when I do, I'm severely sorry for that. But I try my best not to. And I would challenge anyone to be able to stand and say that they have never offended someone with what they said. In that, Proverbs 18:21 says, words kill, words give life. They're either poison or fruit. You choose. I would challenge all of us to think before we speak. And I want to break down think for you real quick. The T in think, is it truthful? The H, is it helpful? The I, is it inspirational? N, is it necessary? And the K, is it kind? I would encourage all of our citizens, our staff members, our council, and everyone within the sound of my voice to think before we speak. And that's all I need to say. And I do appreciate the First Amendment rights that we have, Scott. And they were, I do appreciate the Second Amendment rights that we have as well. But I do think that being in a leadership position, it requires us to think before we speak. And also, it requires us as people to offer grace to those who have transgressed us. This week is Holy Week. Palm Sunday was just this last Sunday. This Sunday, Jesus will have crawled on the cross for everyone, not just for me, not just for Tom or Brian or Scott or Carmen. He did it for everybody. And I would encourage us all to give grace this week especially. And that's all I have to say about that. So, with that, I would entertain council comments. We're going to what? Oh, we got to finish voting. That's right. Okay, so, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Wasn't unanimous. You ayed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. 5 ayes. Okay. Chaplain, if you would please, sir.
A censure is it's a representation of disappointment with actions. And it's something that this board can do. Censure has been recognized since colonial times. I believe in the Senate, U.S. Senate, it was like 1811, 1820, so it's been recognized. And it's an act because everyone does have the First Amendment right, and they can't censor being prohibited to speak, but you can censure, the two different spellings, and that's what this board has acted to do.
And I apologize, are you the attorney for the city?
I am.
Okay, great. Could you maybe shed some light on what the consequences are for not following the city policy?
Now, I represent this council, I advise them, and I'm not going to get into a public debate and legal recourse with the citizens, and I can't do that.
Ma'am,
no,
we're going to be moving on. Okay? Thank you, Chaplain. Okay. So, now we're moving to council comments. Councilman Carter, if you would please, sir.
Yes. Let's go. Let's change the mood a little bit. Okay, so this evening, at the beginning of this meeting, we had some awesome stuff going on here. So I'd like to say congratulations to Fort Mill High School men's basketball team for being the Region 3 5A champions. That was absolutely awesome. One of the things that's really, really cool to see was that team showed up, but the mayor was able to present that proclamation for the team, and the mayor's son was on the team as well. So that was great stuff to see, and congratulations to Xander and the rest of the team and Mayor Gray. Special shout out to Logan Parker and Nas Berry for being selected to All-State, which is extremely impressive. Congratulations to Samuel Paukovitz, I hope I said that right, for being the South Carolina high school chess champion. That is impressive. Like, just wow, that's right here in Fort Mill. So that's great stuff. I want to say, I typically start off with thanking the residents, but I'm coming back to that right now. Thank you, residents, for being here this evening. I know tonight was very important. All of our meetings are important, but thank you guys for being here. Thank you for everybody who's watching online. I appreciate you guys. I want to say thank you to the city staff and all the department heads that keep our amazing city running smoothly every single day. I say that all the time, but it's just, we have a beautiful city, and we're going into spring, and things look wonderful out there, so thank you so much. I want to give a thank you to Chief Crosby and Chief Hasty for hosting their quarterly public safety meeting last week. Really good stuff and really good information. The city manager, Charlie, shared a lot of that information. So there was good stuff that came out of that one. The Best Damn Food Festival, I'm looking forward to that. Last year was so much fun. Weather was a little funky, but it got really, really good. That's going to be May 10th. We have TK Elementary School, the golf tournament, which has been rescheduled. It's going to be Cinco de Mayo. So go out there and go have a good time. Go out there, go hit some balls and do what you got to do. Spring is one of my favorite seasons in TK. I'm going to love winter, except for summer. So the humidity kicks my tail. But spring is awesome. And if you want to know how awesome TK is, go out in the evening or on the weekends, go to one of the parks, go to Turner Field, go to Rundy, and then especially go to Catawba. And you see all the young people that are out there playing t-ball, playing baseball, soccer with their parents and their siblings along the sideline. There's so much good, positive energy with people being out there. Our city is absolutely amazing, and our Parks and Rec department is fabulous. So with that, I'd like to make a shout out to Dustin over there who runs that. And man, I tell you what, it's such a great program. So thank you so much for what you do. Lastly, recognition. Got to make sure I recognize somebody. I want to do someone that makes a positive impact in the community. A lot of us driving to work in the morning see this person. This person has some positive energy. They're typically dancing, has a smile that's infectious, just cruising around. She has a wonderful balance of being firm, but also being but controls the traffic of what's going on. And that person is a self-proclaimed happy crossing guard or traffic controller, and that is Janelle Perez. So thank you so much, because it's fun to see that in the morning. You're like, I'm not awake yet, but she is. So that's good stuff. With that, I'm done.
Thank you, Councilman Carter. Councilman Hyslip, please, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start thanking everyone for being here, and everyone watching online. Thank you. Civic engagement is everyone's responsibility, and thank you for taking the time to come address us or watch at home. And please, as always, everyone here on council, I think will. Boy, those lights got really bright. Please feel free, obviously, reach out to any one of us, any questions, concerns, as always. Reiterating what Brian said real quickly, just congratulations to the basketball team, to the all-state players and the entire team, to Samuel for the chess championships. May, special time of the year for our first responders. So Chiefs, the International Firefighter Day and Police Officer Memorial Day and week, special time in my heart. I wore the badge for 23 years. Thank you for everything you do. If you're out in public, it doesn't have to be in May. If it's tomorrow, stop, say thank you to these wonderful men and women wearing the uniforms here in TKK and everywhere. This job's gotten a lot tougher. I think everyone can see that over the last, I don't know, maybe it was COVID and everyone went a little crazy after that. But, they go through stuff you can't imagine. But yet they got to turn around the next moment and be that happy, friendly face that you need to see. And so just, stealing from my mayor here, give them a hug, tell them you love them, right? And thank them for what they do. So that's May. And then one last thing, I got to shout out, the TKK Elementary School was awarded the Blue Ribbon Lighthouse School of Excellence. So congratulations to TKK Elementary and the entire staff, all the administrative staff and the teachers there. Great job. And that's all I have, Mayor.
I really hate the fact that you're one of the best reporters that that TK's ever, because you always get to say all the stuff first before I get to say it. Jeez. If you hadn't seen The Sun, check it out. My man knows everything. Councilman Shirley, please, sir.
Thank you. First and foremost, I want to thank the residents that spoke tonight. I expect to be held accountable, and I respect your opinions and your feedback. I also want to give a special shout out to Chief Crosby and your team. If I made your team feel small or insignificant or undermined, I want to publicly apologize to you. 100% was not my intent if that came across that way. And I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart. I am very grateful to live in a community where our Fort Mill High School is recognized by City Council for their accomplishments. That's a fine group of young men and coaches, and they will live with those memories for a lifetime, and they deserve it. They earned it. Thank you for the report on wastewater and the upgrade to our assets in your city manager report. Our city staff is busy, and they are improving our community every day, and I'm really grateful to see what you folks do. I also want to give a special shout out to our fire department separately as well for the hard work they do. It's great to see your team up here tonight. They work tirelessly, and I know they work long shifts, and man, every time all of us in the community hear those sirens go off, we know that both Chief Hasty and Chief Crosby's teams are going to work to keep our community safe, and we're grateful for that. The last thing, Mayor Gray, thanks for the acronym on truth. I appreciate that. It's well said.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Mayor Pro Tem, if you would, please.
Everybody always takes all the good stuff. So when I was reading the master plan, one of the things that I saw was that in 2023, there was 14,057 residents of Tega. And then in 2024, we had 4,829 participants in our Parks and Rec teams. That's 35% of our population is playing a sport. Now, I know that not everyone is part of Tega, but I just thought that was really kind of like one of those blow your mind type things, because 35% of our population is playing in our sports. That's pretty cool. And then Charlie said that we had over 1 million people driving through in 1 month. Actually, 3 months in a row. That's an even bigger stat. I don't know where those people are or what they're doing here or why they're here and why they're going in and out. I guess we're all here. But that was a pretty sobering statistic also. And that all goes to show you that we have something that is incredibly special, and it needs to be protected, and it needs to be cherished, and it needs to be moved forward with all of that care that has gotten us here. So I'm not a big, look at the numbers and come up with all these statistics. I'm more of a words person, but those numbers speak to who we are. It speaks to how many people want to be a part of our city and want to be a part of what we've built together. So I'm very proud to say that. And that's really all that I have. Chat with council is April 24th, Thursday, 6:30 at the police training room. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Mayor Pro Tem, which comes to me. A proud dad moment tonight. Thank you all for attending and helping me to congratulate those boys, or young men, sorry. They're always going to be boys to me, I tell you that, regardless. But they've done an outstanding job. And one thing that I'd like to say about Fort Mill High School. Fort Mill High School is a very, it's just strange how we have so many good kids that come out of Fort Mill High School. The dedication that the teachers have, the dedication that the staff has, the camaraderie that those students have at that school, it's unheard of. You just don't see it everywhere, but you can feel it when you walk into Fort Mill High School. So I'd just like to give a shout out to Principal Bean. Thank you for the culture that you're cultivating at our high school, and thank you to the teachers and to the student body for personifying that culture. So thank everybody for what they do at that high school. It is just a magical place, and I just want to thank everybody that we just keep going and keep doing, and parents just continue doing what you do and support your kids there. Chief, both chiefs, thank you so much for what you do. I love that it's this time of year again, and we get to recognize you and your staffs for all you do. Really, we need to do it all year round, because you guys are constantly, day in and day out, just making this city safe and making us shine, and I appreciate it. Chief Hasty, better watch out, because like I said, if some of those firemen over there that you have want to become linemen, I am hiring all day, every day. They're great folks, and it was great to work with them on Saturday and do a little something outside of the box. But that was great. Loved it. Dustin, thank you for all you and your staff are doing. If you want to see things at work and beautiful things, go to the parks. Our parks look absolutely wonderful. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you very much. And if you really want to have your heart blessed, go Saturday morning over to Rundy Field or to Catawba Park and take a baseball game in, take a softball game in, and just listen to those kids laughing and playing. There's a lot of places around the world right now where they can't do that. But Tega has always been that kind of a place. And so thank you so much to your staff, Antonio. Thank you for your staff and keeping us safe and above water. Thank you very much for that. Charlie, as always, thank you. But I just want to take this opportunity. Everybody have a great spring, a great Easter. Enjoy your holidays, and yeah, enjoy TGK. Get out and do something. Have a great time. Thanks for everybody being here tonight. I appreciate you. And that would bring us to a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
Mr.
I'll make
Mayor,
a
members
motion
of council.
to adjourn.
She's our guy. Second.
A little slower.
I am.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.